This is a previously recorded episode of the ITintheD show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Following program is intended for mature audiences.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
You're listening to the ITintheD show.
Just where do you guys think you are?
The Library of Congress?
Detroit? Beyond the sun?
Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit.
No, not Detroit. No, please. Anything but that. No.
I used to hang out at the Magumbo Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
I dig you IT geeks. This is Dre DeMatteo from Sons of Anarchy. You are listening to ITintheD.
So what happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly. Come on. Tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the show.
Hi, this is Ralph Macchio, and you're listening to ITintheD show. Wax on, you know what.
So you have no boots.
No.
You have no gloves.
No.
You have no hat.
No.
You have no scarf.
No.
You have no scraper.
No.
How long have you lived in Michigan?
All my life.
You, sir, are an idiot.
I don't care.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to ITintheD show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, John Kreese from the Karate Kid movie, and you're listening to ITintheD.
Yes, Sensei!
Are we at a break yet?
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to ITintheD. All you nerds out there.
Nerds.
What is a nerd?
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. The ITintheD show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear, I'm in my underwear. Hey, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Man. I'm a techie. I'm a nerd, fellow podcaster. My favorite podcast is ITintheD.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
It's just too big. It's way too big.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
This is Robert Hayes, a Ted Stryker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo Bar, I'm listening to the ITintheD show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat stick.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the ITintheD show. Tough guy. Ho!
My name is Michael Zapsik from AMC's Comic Book Man. You're listening to ITintheD.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
It's Monday, January the 18th. Happy Martin Luther King Day. You are listening to the ITintheD show. We are broadcasting to you live here in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob, the sales guy, always here with Dave the Geek. Nuri, the FNG, is in the house. Find us online, ITintheD.com. Give us a like on the Facebook.
He braved the airports. He braved air travel.
The weather. Nuri got here from Boston.
And boy, are my arms tired.
Yeah. Do us a favor. Give us a like on the Facebook and follow us on Twitter /ITintheD. And you guys have been awesome. And we said it again. Leave us a review on iTunes.
Keep those iTunes reviews coming.
You guys are awesome. I blush every time. Like, the stuff people are writing is
like, even the ones that are like,
cool.
This is completely not what I expected. These are not IT guys. They don't talk IT. Their topics get a little raunchy. 5 stars.
But when Bob talks about meat sticks, I feel like I'm there. Oh, my God.
Like I said, this is episode 127. Do us a favor. Mark your calendars. January the 21st, our first official meetup of 2016.
That's this Thursday.
We will be I said that's why I said the 21st.
Wow.
Because
But for those like me who don't
could be
do,
listening
like,
tomorrow
dates,
or Wednesday.
So just this Thursday.
Right. But what if never mind. We'll be at the Firebird Tavern in downtown Detroit, down in Greektown at the second floor. It is a phenomenal facility, and we love them to death, and they have great food. And the whole second floor is ours. All IT people. No multi-level marketing schmucks. No
fruit basket salesman.
No
manager, no 401k guy.
Good, clean conversations.
And I got, my LinkedIn anniversary hit. We've officially, it's been 15 years since the first event, and people were like pinging me about it today. That's the only reason I know, because I think I added it like 8 years ago. So we've officially spent 15 years kicking all of the dumbasses out of our events.
We started this group when we were 11 years old. Good God, 15 years. This sucks. Hate you. We have an amazing guest tonight. I think it's our first. Is this our first famous face? You're famous.
I'm not
it's our
famous.
First famous guest we have.
I'm a real person.
Well, you still though. All famous. You all put your pants on 2 feet at a time, or how's that go?
1 foot at a time. One leg at a time. Yeah.
I don't know.
2 feet. I fall on my face.
We have Ashley Golden here from Hardcore Pawn fame from True TV.
That's how everybody knows her. Probably.
That's how everybody knows her. But the stories you broke off on your own. You got a couple things going on. We'll be talking to you about Pawn Chick Radio, Pawn Chick Shop.
And if I may, holy crap. You're literally not half the woman you used to be.
Thank you.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Thank you.
But the entire second and third segment, if she braves this long, the third segment will be dedicated to Ashley.
Well, she did say she did her research and then agreed to come on.
I think she did like as much as I read your emails. I think that's what
I'm happy to be here, okay?
Thank you. Appreciate braving the weather, and we look forward to spending time with you.
I'm excited to be here.
But did you win the Powerball this week, Dave?
Am I here?
Yeah.
Then no.
You still do it. You totally do the show.
Actually, honestly, yeah. If I were one of the 5 people that won the Powerball, this would probably be the only thing that I'd still do.
You know what you didn't do though is you didn't go on GoFundMe.
Wait. Let's do this right.
What? Oh, this is rant. Here's the thing. I don't mind if you play the lotto or if you buy scratch-offs at the 7-Elevens. And if
live your life, do your thing.
Do your thing. But if you decide to gamble away your mortgage, you cannot go on the internet and ask people for money to pay for said mortgage. This goes to you.
To reimburse you all of the money that you spent on the Powerball tickets.
Kickstarter and GoFundMe and of the like, which are great for starting companies, are not to pay off your goddamn lotto debt.
Right.
But come on, Bob. You have to help a family in need, wouldn't you?
Then don't play the lotto. Here's the thing. We talked about it.
And I'm all about it. Like I'm all about, we actually just had this conversation earlier today. I'm all, dude, unforeseen circumstances, wacky mayhem ensues. A tornado hits your house burns down. Everybody gets laid. I mean, bad laid off. Let me finish that sentence. That sounded bad. It just, however, unforeseen circumstances. GoFundMe. You need help. I'm all in.
Everyone needs a
self-inflicted bullshit. Like I blew the mortgage on Powerball tickets, just expecting I would win,
and now I can't feed my kids.
And
here's the thing that nobody gets is I played $20 twice. Yep, because that's the times I was at the bar and people were playing their Kenos. And I said, give me $20 because I know my odds at 20 is the same as if I bought $1,000 worth.
Pretty much.
And if I lose 20, I don't care.
$20 is disposable income, right? You blow $20 at the bar anyway,
that's
right?
Subway, 2 Subway sandwiches. That's $20. But if you spend $1,000, that's a car note, and that hurts. I don't care who you are. I don't care
what kind of car are you driving.
$1,000 is a lot of money.
It's like a Tesla note.
2 cars in the family.
That's a Tesla note, is what that is.
Neo
with 0 down. Right. That's a Tesla note.
No, for both me and my wife's car, that's a car note. So that hurts. You're going to tell me that you're going to when you can't, and you're going to start a GoFundMe.
Yeah,
kiss my ass. I hope you lose your house.
And that's the thing. You don't want to wish ill will on people.
No.
But God damn.
You know, good on GoFundMe, though. They pulled her Kickstarter, or her GoFundMe after.
Within like 10 hours?
I think she made like $800, though.
Oh, it got up? No. It got pledged up to $800, and then it got pulled, which means she got zero.
So that means, is that at $1 a piece or $20 a piece, how many idiots gave this woman money for losing her entire...
Here's the thing. I will give my last, like, if you knew how much money I gave to Capuchin and Gleaners and, like, the...
Well, and Menachem and the Operation Kid Equips of the world and all that kind of stuff.
Totally. That's where I put my money, right? You're drinking my beer.
Damn it.
See, you're making him so nervous. I'm watching him pick up your beer.
You know what I completely forgot, Dave? We got to give some love to our new friends.
Hey, you do.
We got to give some love.
I've heard about this shit for the past 3 days, and all I know is I don't even have our freaking discount code yet.
We have some new friends, and it's changed my world, and I've been talking about it, and everyone hates me.
Do I start calling you Caitlin now? Is it that talk, or...
No, it's still...
Oh, this is the food one.
My wiener's still
Okay,
there.
the food one, okay.
We got to send a link in a timestamp. So timestamp now. We have some friends over at... So here's the thing, though. What do I hate more than anything? You know this. There's two things I hate. I think in my week. No, I like people. I'm a sales guy.
No. You like people. Persons. You don't like people.
Spurious GoFundMes.
I hate putting on socks.
Grocery stores?
And I hate grocery shopping. Like, it's one in
Why
one end.
socks?
I hate Louis C.K. It's getting old.
Have you seen him?
Yeah.
Why do you hate bending over?
Hashtag fat guy problems.
Is it bending over?
I have a bad knee, and it sucks. Like my right leg, I can pull over my neck. My left leg, my knee is like a 70-year-old man.
See that? I really do.
Mental postcards I didn't need for 1,000, Alex.
No, it's true. My left leg. So there's nothing I hate more.
I gotta tell you, I did not ever plan on these conversations when I entered this room. You were sitting down, looking like this nice, guy, in this leather coat, and I'm like, never thought you'd be talking about your leg going over your head.
Meanwhile, I see Bob in a pair of tidy whities.
Hashtag she does more research next time.
Boxer briefs.
Hashtag splits.
But I discovered HelloFresh, and if you don't know what it is, so basically, instead of grocery shopping, remember I talk about Amazon. I want them to deliver the Red Bull and the Funyuns to my home.
That was the first Godfather rant. Was the what Bob wants out of life?
Yeah,
the no driver in the driverless Uber that shows up with your delivery, the drone that gets out of the back seat and brings you your purchase, your pizza.
Yeah,
you swipe on the drone and you never have to interact with another human being.
Pay on the app. This is a non-interaction, no grocery store. So the grocery store is the worst. And I love to cook, but I hate shopping for stuff. And let's say you find a cool recipe and it go up and down 18 aisles and you never get all the stuff. And you hate cooking with stuff you never tried. HelloFresh, basically...
and I got to chime in here. For those of you who might be a little skeptical out there, he's actually not lying. Bob is a hell of a cook. He really, really is. Some of his stuff's a little out there. The White Castle roll.
That's amazing.
I was skeptical.
That is amazing.
But Bob can cook
his chili, right? So tailgating is chili.
No, I have
it's world famous.
Here's the thing. I have 5 or 6 things as my go-to. So when I got a HelloFresh sampler, and it had 3 things. It had a... basically a pan-seared steak with butternut squash, green beans almondine, and then there was a chicken Milanese, something I never cooked before. But it all comes in one box. And it's all 30-minute recipes, and it's idiot-proof. Everything's pre-chopped, pre-cut. It's one plate of food. And it's an enormous plate of food. We all had leftovers. And I swear to God, they were restaurant quality. It was the best things I ever ate. Literally. But we've teamed up with HelloFresh. They will bring you basically, if you're a person living alone, if you're a big family, we're going to do it for 2 a week. We decided 2 days a week we're going to use HelloFresh. You're not going to eliminate everything, but it's $7-8 a dish when it works out to.
Well, I think you get into a food rut, right? So it's it's Wednesday night, it's pizza night, or Thursday night, it's taco night, and basically something like this gets you out of your... it's my second shoulder reference I made today.
You know what I made today? Tuscan sausage linguine. There's not a Sunday or a Monday ever where I'm like, hey kids, let's make Tuscan sausage linguine.
And you put on some Gypsy Kings while you're making it, right?
But it was amazing. My kids didn't say a word at the dinner table. That was worth the price of admission alone.
They were still tired from the weekend, Bob.
Right. But we've teamed up with HelloFresh. You can get, and actually you have a regular option and you have a veggie nuri option.
The nuri option.
The nuri option. But they have Jamie Oliver's one of the chefs. You get predetermined stuff that you get 2-3 a week.
Well, and all the spices are like it's like all the spices are individually packed for that meal.
Fresh herbs and
like
everything.
you don't have to measure, you don't have to think.
The only thing I had to chop the potatoes and the onion, but I mean, if you can't chop a potato and onion, but everything else was full idiot proof, completely. And the stuff was like the chicken Milanese thing with the sauerkraut. It was amazing. One of the best things I ever cooked. But do us a favor, if you go to HelloFresh.com, pick your subscription, you're going to get $35 off with discount code ITintheD, all lowercase, ITintheD. And give them a try. If you don't like it, you just stop with it right there. But again, it's idiot proof. It's one of the best.
It's so easy a Bob can cook it.
It's so easy even a Bob can cook it. I'm a customer for life, I swear to God. Like I told Dave, I go, you're going to hate this because one of the sponsors I'm completely in love with, and it's not.
We basically just did like a 5-minute read.
I know. Charge them double. I'm going to be talking about this every week on the damn show.
This is what I got this week.
Right, exactly. You wouldn't believe the thing I just. But can we get over the getting back to business? Can we get over the celebrity deaths already?
It's terrible.
Oh my God! Like
thoughts and prayers.
So Ashley, I have this thing.
I'm going to miss him so much.
If you miss Glenn Fry, like you're sad about his death. Like put on an Eagles album. He never went away. Like it's not like the people.
It's terrible what happened today.
But
It's
like
terrible
David
what's been
Bowie.
going on. It's awful the past week.
Well, the one I was sad about was the 80s wrestler Iron Mike Sharp. I did a moment of silence for that one.
That's the one. That's the one that cut Bob Dean.
I'm sorry.
David Bowie, no, Iron Mike Sharp's tear.
I'm sorry. Well, I really feel bad for Celine Dion.
She lost her husband and brother.
And
Oh my
husband,
God,
all
that's
this,
awful.
Like 2 days apart.
Right, but wasn't he like 30 years older than her anyway? Like I remember, like he dated her when she was like a teenager or something.
It doesn't matter the age.
No, I know,
they were
I know,
in
I know.
love. They were married. They had a child. I mean, and her brother. I mean, come on.
That's crazy.
But all these deaths. I mean, it's really bad.
I feel like there's a "her heart will go on" joke, but it's too.
Oh, that's bad.
Too soon.
I already got that
Too
text.
soon.
Yeah,
Okay.
way too soon.
That's really bad. I didn't hear that joke, but that was really bad.
That was yeah. We didn't like that one.
But yeah, no. So yeah, Glenn Fry today. I mean, it's the Eagles, the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack, the Miami Vice soundtrack.
I candied for him when I was 15 at the Country Club in Detroit. He's a great guy. Great story, Bob.
The room goes silent, you know?
Tell it again, bro. Way to go, Joe. Great story.
Saw this movie. It was funny. But one of the funnier stories that happened this week, Nuri, you were on top of this one. DJ Khaled. Apparently, it's a tale of two stories here. Apparently, he Snapchatted his Amex Black Card,
which is a pretty dumb thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, within 30 minutes, how much got burned through?
The story was that he lost $80,000 in just 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Oh my God, that was 30 minutes.
So and basically,
a lot
the
of
story,
shopping.
Yeah.
So the story was he's now going to sue Snapchat to get the list of folks who viewed this snap, and basically media outlets all over the country picked up on this. A couple days later,
Because media outlets are the dumb.
right? And it's a plausible story too.
This is where it gets interesting.
This is where it gets interesting. Is basically the whole thing came from a satirical website. The website, and I'm going to quote, "Negroes Against Hairline Abuse."
What?
That was the name of the website. So the satirical website picked it up, created it. Oh, they've got a lot of really weird stories out there that are pretty comical as well.
So it's like The Onion.
Yeah, it's basically like The Onion for rap music. And all of a sudden, the media outlets around the world are picking this story up.
So it became it
became true.
No, because how many?
Dude, this is not necessarily the news rant that I went off on 2 years ago. It is.
How many friends do you have that up until maybe like a year ago would share stuff on Facebook
Empire News
from The Onion or Empire, and you're like, oh my God, let's go what Trump said. We're like, no, it's satire.
You read the bottom of the page.
I still get those from like The Onion. People share Onion articles like, oh my God, can you believe what Obama's doing now?
Now, see, but here's the thing. I've gotten to the point where like the people that are still sharing Onion stories get it. They're the ones that are like, look at the dumb Americans, man. Look what they're reading. But the Empire News, the NBC.com.co, that people email.
Dude, that was so good.
I did it at 2 a.m. Like it was on the last bar stool, last drink. I'm like, oh my God, and I didn't bother to check.
I actually typed NBC in my browser, and the first thing that popped up was .com.co.
I got lit up for that one.
Obama endorses Donald Trump for president is their headline right now.
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
But the one thing that came out that I know Dave's going to get an aneurysm over. Watch his forehead, Nuri. Watch his forehead.
Watching Bane.
PewDiePie just got a bag of money and got a Disney network that he gets to run.
Dude, and Netflix bought a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not actually bought. We're not in the movie The Toy, but
Dave's mad because PewDiePie made $12 million last year.
0.1.
12.1 million.
Are you familiar?
He's going over like a little.
Are you familiar?
No, can you update me?
So this is the guy who basically, you know how like with like Twitch and online gaming, like you can basically record yourself playing video games.
Oh, yes.
So his whole shtick, he's like kind of the one that like pioneered this, is that he comments and like makes fun of and makes stupid comments and jokes as people are playing.
Okay.
And that's his whole thing.
That's it.
And he made $12.1 million last year, Ashley.
Didn't do anything except for make fun of.
We're all doing it wrong.
It's like the Pet Rock.
But worse.
Right.
At least, yeah. But Disney gave him his own network now.
And the thing that blows my mind is that his new network, with all the people in there, it's 100 million combined followers. This is like a gigantic media force. And then think about the Netflix buying.
It's South Park. It's not about the content anymore. It's about the followers. That's
it's about the followers.
That's it.
Well, and that's why I think Netflix bought the YouTuber. Think about that. They've got somebody with already a couple of million people who follow them. They spend a little bit of money, get a massive amount of return because they've got baked-in people ready to go.
And this is why, like, okay, so like, and this was a couple years ago when the whole like when Ashton Kutcher challenged CNN to see who could hit 1 million followers first, and he won. I'm like, we're watching Idiocracy happen. The first 10 minutes of Idiocracy are happening in front of our eyes. Yeah.
There was another story this week, too, that YouTube actually has facilities around the world where if you have more than a certain, as 100,000 or 1 million people, you can go into their studios and record all your stuff in the YouTube studios. Makeup, lighting, all kinds of crazy stuff just for being a YouTube personality.
Nuri, the ad company that reps us, that worked with us on HelloFresh, they're their number one client. She's probably 18 now, but back then she was like 17. She was a fashion vlogger, right? She basically would try on clothes and talk about the manufacturers. She was pulling $20,000 a week. Wasn't even out of high school. Just basically doing fashion reviews. Yeah.
This dress makes me feel good, doesn't it? Look, everybody.
He has a comment to make.
Put that anywhere.
Yeah, put that.
I agree. I totally agree.
The 14-year-old I'm helping with taking pictures, she's already making about $15,000 a week right now. At the age of 14, she's been doing this since 12. She's doing makeup, and she's already got enough money to save for a car. 2016, whatever she wants.
We're so doing it wrong.
I was going to like the arcade and like going to bowling
remember
alley.
just going on the weekends when you were like 12 and 13 and 14, just to the movies?
Yeah.
Go to the bowling alley.
Yeah. And
Just walking around the mall. Yeah, giggling at each other.
Now there's no social skills.
Well, this one is this 14-year-old. She's homeschooled, and she's already got Avon helping her out.
Oh, that's because homeschooling always works out well.
Oh my God!
Well, thanks for bringing up 14-year-olds. I have to wish my sister a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I should probably do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I got to be honest. One of my favorites is we talked about this a couple times now as the story has evolved. The fired Taco Bell exec. Who got his ass in a sling after he went on a tirade and started beating on an Uber driver.
Oh, that was bad.
And the Uber driver filmed it. Well, now he is attempting to – well, no, he's filed a lawsuit. He is suing the Uber driver for illegally videoing him.
Right.
Come on.
You didn't hear?
Oh, no, not the
You didn't hear that he is now suing the Uber driver for videotaping him?
Oh, yeah, but I didn't know, but it's because of videotaping him.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because that's why he lost his job in defamation and yet da-da-da. And the best part is that his attorney is trying to block the viewing of the video at any trial that takes place because it would be prejudicial.
While at the same time speaking out of the other side of the mouth and saying, there's very little truth to the damages he claims. You beat the shit out of an Uber driver, yet there's no truth to it.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
He's going to plead affluenza.
and then basically says that now he's emotional distress, humiliation, anxiety, fear, pain, and suffering.
Well, yeah, because you got your ass put on blast on the internet.
Yes.
You got fired because you were an asshole.
Yes.
And the whole world knows who you are and hates you. I mean,
you're never going to get another job in your life.
Well, it's like, we talked about, remember the Google, the right to forget thing? And the number one guy that was petitioning it was the guy who was in charge of Merrill Lynch for Bank of America, who was trying to basically file lawsuit after lawsuit against Google because as he was trying to get another job, people would Google him. And everything that would pop up would
what
be,
about the girl
this was the guy that was in charge of Merrill Lynch for Bank of America when that went, lost everybody millions and millions of dollars.
What about the Indianapolis girl with the Yelp review bitching about them tending to the dying woman on the floor and not to her meal? I mean, imagine what. Granted, she has a generic name. It's not like she's my name, so she might be.
Oh, but people found her.
Oh yeah,
You absolutely.
Oh,
know people
absolutely.
found her.
But like, you're moved to Australia. You're done.
Yeah.
Like, bye. You have to go.
That's the good touch and the bad touch of social media.
Well, look at the clown in my town that got bought, trying to be Mr. City Council, trying to be like Mr. Boys and Girls Club president, and you get busted by a blow from a UC in my corner bar, and then he spent the next 3 months trying to scrape the internet. It's like, it doesn't work like that.
Speaking of Googling,
I did control screen capture, MS Paint. Oh, that got out back real quick. Clown. Hate you.
Speaking of Googling weird names, you see, there was one person this week who said, Google me. Someone who I thought would never, ever, for the rest of his life, ever say those words again.
He had to have been oblivious.
No, he's got to know. If you are Rick Santorum, you know exactly what happened when you Googled your name.
Yes.
And this week he's like, Google me.
I
hope that goes well.
No, he had to have been one of the dumbest human beings. Either he had to have known. Like, if you don't know, is it Adam Savage? What's the guy that does the Love?
Savage Love.
Yeah, Savage
totally.
Love. Basically came up with a contest going, what's the most crude substance known to man that we can ever come up with? And I'm not going to say it on the air. Google it if you want to Google
if
Rick.
you want to.
But like Rick Santorum in a public debate says Google me. And we're like, you just heard like a million people at home going, no! No! Oh, good God almighty.
That's number 21 on the 20 things you never Google image search.
Right, no, did you not?
That's from last week.
Right, was it on that list?
No.
So I know we're going to close out with Dave's favorite story because there was a a long time ago.
The power of the internet.
Dave a long time ago helped.
Hypothetically speaking,
maybe helped a Red Wings goalie get into the All-Star game when he probably shouldn't have been,
and became the starting goalie in the All-Star game
because he wasn't having a good year and he was getting late in his career. So Dave decided to hypothetically
may or may not have gotten the Zamboni driver as the Zamboni driver for the All-Star game. Hypothetically.
So in short, the
that can never be proved.
The NHL did it again, where they opened up fan voting,
and they haven't since that year.
Right. So they reopened fan voting to the public, and what good can happen? Well, what happens is there's a guy named John Scott.
Yep.
And if you ever seen the movie Goon with Stifler, he was Goon.
We know grinders, like we know the Joey.
No, this guy was
Koshers.
worse. This guy had 11 points in 8 seasons of the NHL. Kosher at least put up some points. He wasn't even Troy Crowder. He wasn't even was Munson. What the hell? I'm trying to think of the worst ones. This guy was the king of all goons.
Yeah.
But everyone loved him.
Well, and so it became a thing on, I know that on the TSN.ca message boards and a bunch of the Hockey Talk message boards, hey, they opened up a fan vote. Let's get this guy in the All-Star game because there was a write-in box. So, of course, everybody jumps on board. And this guy not only gets voted into the All-Star game, but gets so many votes that he is the captain for his conference in the All-Star game. The NHL is not amused. And not that you can prove it, and so I'll stick with allegedly and hypothetically speaking, but some backroom conversations happened, some phone calls got made. He gets traded from the team that he's on to the Montreal Canadiens, one of the original 6, deep ties to the NHL front office, go figure. He gets traded to the Canadiens. Immediately they ship him down to the AHL and say they're not bringing him back up again ever, which means he is unavailable. He's not. But he had that's what I'm looking for.
Didn't he have a pregnant wife?
Oh yeah,
well, that's the league minimum.
So that's the thing, and it became such a feel good story. Like it went from a joke to this guy was like, wow, if I get, I get a bonus for being in the game. If I happen to be on the team that wins, I get $1 million. I got a wife that's due in 4 days. It became like a feel good thing. So the initial joke, and then it just kind of grew and blew up. They traded him to Montreal, who shipped. That's what I was going to. So they traded him, who shipped him down to the minors, and so now he's ineligible to go to the All-Star game, which was just a shit move by the NHL.
But if you look at the fans, are that much behind it. Think about the backlash the fans are going to give, because if you give the fans their vote,
you have to honor the vote.
Yeah, there's not even.
You can't put it out there and then not abide by it.
Right.
So there's a lot of backlash brewing on those same message boards, those same forums, where why the hell did you even bother putting this out there if you weren't going to honor it?
So what's backlash going to look like? Are people going to stop watching hockey or stop going to games?
Well, here's the sad reality. So I was the biggest hockey nut in the world. I'm still bitter. I still haven't watched a full game since the lockout a couple years ago.
Wow.
Like that was the one that I was
King
like,
of all hockey nerds here.
dude, I've got like 100 and some odd hockey jerseys. Like I have like every team, I've got autograph, everything.
I see you in a different hockey jersey every week, and I've seen you more than probably 100 times.
Yeah. So I mean, and it's one of those things where like and they lost me because I mean it was that stupid money grab where I'm like, you know what, you really don't care about the fans. This is now hammering that home again. Where there are a lot of people that are like, you know what, screw this. I was going to buy tickets to the game, I'm not going. I was going to fly out, I'm not going. And the NHL, and for what it's worth, I mean, the NHL All-Star Game is probably the most meaningless and yet meaningful of all of the All-Star competitions because the winner of the All-Star Game gets home ice advantage. That's the whole conference thing. But I mean, it's always been like a run up the goal fest. I mean, and All-Star games are always like 17-15. I mean,
no, they never play defense.
Yeah, and there's no fighting. There's none of that nonsense. It's a bunch of guys. Yeah. I mean, the skills competition is always fun to watch, and that kind of stuff. But I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't do as much. It's not as intense as some of the other All-Star games that are out there. And it is. I mean, they're taking a social media beating over it, and good,
totally
good.
Yeah.
Everyone's good.
Angry.
Hey, we're going to go to a quick break, and we are lucky enough to have Ashley Gold in studio, and we will be back in segment 2 and talking to her. And this is the IT in the D show, and we will be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Schneider from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland. Secret Life of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D show.
ITintheD.com. This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D show.
Welcome back, segment 2, episode 127. This is the IT in the D show. We are broadcasting live here in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, always here with Captain Soundboard, Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG, just got back from Boston. Find us online, ITintheD.com. Do us a favor, mark your calendars. This Thursday, January 21st, we'll be at the Firebird Tavern right on Monroe Street in Greektown.
Parking lot right attached to it.
Next door, there's a parking lot. All IT folks. Should be great conversation. And do us a favor. We've been talking about the last couple weeks, and I don't think it hit home to a lot of people as it should. But if you go to ITintheD.com/learn, we teamed up with Career Academy, and for $29, literally you can get training and pre-certification training for anything from CompTIA to Microsoft to Cisco
1,100 plus courses. You can get a freaking associate's degree, people.
For $29.
For $29.
I actually sat down and watched about way more hours than I want to admit of the certified ethical hacker stuff. Totally good stuff.
Yeah.
Super good.
But it's all prep for the for certification exams, and take advantage of it, because I mean, everyone talking about being in student loan debt up to your eyeballs. This is one way to get around it, and we're proud to be a part of it.
Majoring in French, what should I do? Go to vip.careeracademy.com/ITintheD, $29.
Right. $29.
Not $29,000, not even $2,900.
Not $29 a month?
Yeah, no, not $29 a
You
month.
can't buy a lot these days for $29.
No. And this is like literally an education, like a job. You can get you come out of the CompTIA training, you can get a job in town. There are people that will hire you tomorrow if you have your certifications. That's the one thing people don't understand.
It's
you
the
don't
path.
need
We've talked about this a
without a
million
degree.
times.
You don't need a bachelor's even. You have your certs. I got my brother-in-law. He was painting floors. Hardworking Polish guy, and he's at Comerica now. Just got a full-time job, 3 years through the path, making living wage, great living wage, like family money living wage, and full benefits, 401k, and he just got the offer, and he went through this path.
Yep.
Like, started off getting your A+ in Network Plus, and then, no degree, and because they don't care. You're not a technical writer. They don't care.
Yeah, no, well, and you know what they need you to know.
Right. But we've been on I don't know if we've been sitting on eggshells. We don't want to make any bad jokes or not, because we have none other than Ashley Gold here from Hardcore Pawn. Been hanging out with us.
That was us holding back.
Yeah, that was us holding back.
Why do you have to hold back? Don't you watch what happened on the show?
No, we love the show. I actually, I don't think I've missed an episode. It was on my DVR list. Yeah, Dave was like, we booked Ashley Gold. I'm like, great, I've watched every episode. This is going to be fun.
I'm going to be that guy.
But honestly, we appreciate hanging out. We put you up on social media. You've been getting like constant compliments going, you look great. But like we said, you look phenomenal. Keep doing whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Thank you. So I got to ask you guys. So you guys have all these nicknames. So do I get like, initiated? Do I like get a nickname with you guys? I feel like out of the loop.
You did pawn check.
My
I made that for myself.
My knee-jerk reaction, I'm like, well, I know the nickname everybody gave you while you were on the show.
Well,
There's the bitch.
I thought we can't use that word in this studio.
We'll come out by the end of the show. I'll have one for you.
Just come with the pawn check because you're out. You're out of your studio. I'm taking over your spot.
The PCB.
No.
Pawn check. Well, no. So I mean, let's dive in there because that's how everybody knows you for the most part.
As the nicest girl from Hardcore Pawn, the nicest girl to customers, the nicest girl to my family. Genuine.
Well, so that's the thing that everybody always wants to know is like so.
Am I really that girl in real life? Is that what you want to know?
Well, not only that, but I guess the bigger question is okay. So there's reality TV, and then there's quote unquote reality TV. How weird did stuff really get there, and how did that go for you?
The show was real. I mean, I'm not an actress. I was a pawnbroker before the show, and I'm not at the store anymore. So I'm still a pawnbroker at heart,
right?
But I'm not I'm not at the store anymore. I made it public. It's been written in the paper, so it's out there. So I'm not hiding anything, but it was real. Like everything that you guys saw was real. Like there was no actors. The customers were not actors or actresses. Like they needed the money. So they took, let's say, a laptop out of their home, and that was their only laptop, and they needed the money, and they needed it to pay a bill. Well, they expected to get X amount of dollars, and when they find out that they can't get X amount of dollars for their laptop, they're going to be pissed off.
They would get mad,
and they're going to take it out of me.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. My favorite was always when you had to be the one to break it to the poor girl standing in front of you. That the earrings or the ring that somebody gave her was not real.
Right, and it's my fault because they're not real. Right, because it's my fault that the gift that they opened.
Because clearly the degree you got in gemology meant you don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Well, I actually did not get my degree in gemology. I got my degree in diamond certification.
Yes.
So
that's from IGI, right?
GIA.
Oh, GIA.
It's the same letters.
Same letters.
IGIA, GIA, same letters. No, but for real, like people came in and they're like, "You don't know what you're talking about." But a gemologist is more.
But I do.
But I do.
Certificate on the wall. But I do.
And people are like, "You don't know what you're talking about." But a gemologist is. They took that extra step, and I didn't go that extra step to get certified in gems. Sorry, my phone's going off. But they took that extra step to get certified in gems. But I took the extra step to get certified in diamonds. But I do know if your gold is real or not.
Right.
And I do know if your silver is, basically turning colors on your skin. And if it's
if it's turning your skin green, odds are good.
Exactly.
I see the green ring on your damn finger right now. Come on, seriously.
And it's not my fault that it's not real. So I can, test on every single machine possible and scrape it and put acid on it, and it's still going to come up fake. But they can take it out on me. And, a lot of people don't know that a show is taped, and it takes 3 days to tape a show, and people only see 30 minutes or 27 minutes because of commercials. But they're not seeing all the good that happens in the show.
Well,
not the good that happens in the store.
It's like the news. Nobody wants to watch that.
Exactly. So you're going to see the bad and emotional stuff that comes out in me and the fights and.
Well, what fun it would be to watch a guy walk in and buy a Jägermeister surfboard and just walk out.
Right, exactly.
I'm just saying. Well, I remember vividly, every once in a while they would play the pilot episode. And it was funny because the way they portrayed it was almost like they were just following you, and everybody's like, "Hi, nice to see you." And once episode 3 came, that's when the gloves came off.
Boom, they're fighting. They're all fighting, and the customers and this and that, and every so often, you'd see me smile, and I'm like, "Wait, but I smiled 10 minutes before that." Wait, I didn't cry like that all the time, and hey, I wasn't fighting with my dad and my brother like that all the time, and wait, I gave the customer $50 more on that, and. But they missed all that, and it's okay, because I truly know who I am, and I'd give you the shirt off my back, and I know who I am.
Well, that's the one thing when I always hear reality TV. That's one thing. It's like, yeah, no, that's not me. They didn't spin me like that. So like, I think everyone kind of. You understand it, but you don't. Like at the same time, everybody thinks that everything goes on there was 100%. That's you all day long.
Yeah.
And I think normal people see that and they're like they kind of know. Like you can't.
Well, I hope they know.
Right.
And I'm a changed person since the season finale of season 9. And
was it 9 seasons?
9
seasons.
Oh
my God.
Wow. Over 160 episodes.
Wow.
And I have kids, and I go in public, and I'm in the PTO, and I was a president of the PTO. I'm going to be honest. And
I was too. Here.
Were you? It's a hard job.
Sucks.
Oh,
it's a full-time job.
He's still complaining about it. It's been
It's
2
a
years.
full-time
Hell
job.
hath no fury like a house mom.
The House Code Mafia.
Oh my God, the House Code Mafia is the most vicious. I'll go against the Yakuza before it.
No, but seriously, it's a full-time job, and people will walk up to me, even in a restaurant, and I'm with my kids, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're that bitch." And I'm like, "Hey, guys, I'm with my kids."
Earmuff, get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
And it's like, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a friend of somebody's, and I'm still a person.
Well, yeah.
And I may have been a character, let's say, on a show, but I've moved on.
Well, it reminds me of being like, I'm a huge professional wrestling fan, and it's kind of like walking up to the bad guy in a restaurant and thinking he's that guy. I hate you. And it's like, can I just have my dinner?
Right.
Like, with my, I'm drinking, I'm sitting here with the good guy. We're drinking together.
No, but I will 100% give my time, to anybody and take a picture with them and sign an autograph. And if
Come
it
on
wasn't
the podcast.
for my exactly, and if it wasn't for my fans, we wouldn't have a show. And I thank everybody so much, but God, I'm not that person. And I want everybody to know. I mean, yes, everybody can be that ass, and everybody can be that
let's be
bitch.
honest,
And
if somebody followed us around for 3 days and edited it down to 24 minutes, we'd be jackasses.
But in the beginning, I was like, oh, God, I'm going to watch what I'm going to say, and I don't want the mic in the bathroom with me, and every time my phone rings, I'm going to turn my phone off. Well, after a while, you're like, screw this. Like, you want to come listen to me pee? Like, come listen to me go bathroom. Like, I don't really give a shit. Like, fine, you want to listen to me talk to my husband? All right, you want to hear all that? Fine. But after a while, like, after 5 years, like, you do not recognize the camera. You don't recognize somebody following you. You don't realize it after a while. Like, it just... You put on that mic, and from 9:30 the store opens, 6 o'clock it closes, and it's 6 days a week. Like, you just don't realize it.
First of the month had to have been your favorite day, I'm assuming. I'm just, you don't know. You're just looking blank stare. First of the government check day. That's always like.
Well, February was always. No, I'll be honest with you. So you always knew. Like, the pawn shop is a economic barometer, so you always knew when the economy was doing well or poor because of the pawn lines.
Sure. So how did you deal with like social? I don't want to say social media hate.
Okay.
But like, there had to have been a filter, or did you like?
Yeah.
Obviously, you didn't get in Twitter fights, did you? Or like, how did you deal with it?
And this was actually one of the topics that I threw down to talk with you about, because you've actually written a blog or two about your social media interactions with people.
Yeah. So I started Pawn Chick Radio almost 2 years ago. And I wanted a chance to interview celebrities or authors I just wanted to get a chance to start talking to people, because I was like, all right, talking to customers is fun, but like, I want to start interviewing and seeing what it's like. Then about 8 months ago, I started writing. I'm like, I want to write a diary, but like, what fun is it if I just write to myself? Well, I'm not going to write to myself. I want to have people read it. So I started blogging, and I was like, all right, maybe this will take off. Well, what am I going to write about? So I wanted to write about my life, and this is when I left the pawn shop. So I
I believe we can. At least I can speak from experience that as soon as you start writing about your own life experiences, that's when things go sideways.
Yeah, boy.
It kind of took off, and then I went on this whole weight loss journey. So I kind of took people through my whole journey with me, and that's what I've been doing. I've been taking people through my journey with me on my blog. So to get to where you're coming from with the whole social media, that started 5 years ago. And I made the front page of AOL.com. And that was the day that I started Facebook and Twitter and I did not start LinkedIn then. I started Facebook and Twitter 5 years ago. And that's when I was like, holy crap, like, what is going on? I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So I started Ashley from Hardcore Pawn because I was like, what do I do? Is
For what it's
Ashley
worth, we still
Gold?
don't
Like,
understand Twitter.
what do I do?
Yeah.
And then my Twitter is Ashley HCP, but I did not know. I'm like, what's Facebook? Like, what is all this? Like, I have no idea. Do I accept my friends? Do I accept people customers? Like, do I accept I didn't know what the hell it was. And then people started blasting me. And I was like, to my husband, I'm like, oh my God, I can't take it. People are talking about me. So I would like sit home and cry. Like, I can't take this.
It's hard.
I'd come home from work and people would blast me. You fat this, you ugly this, you're so fat, blah, blah, blah. Well, I was 60 pounds heavier. So I was like, what do I do? I'm like, I'm deleting this. I'm not reading all this stuff. And then people started writing like, oh, you're pregnant. We're following on your pregnancy journey. I'm like, I'm not pregnant. So then there was a blog about me that I was pregnant. And I'm like, writing this person back. I'm like, I'm not pregnant. She's like, yes, you are.
You're glowing. Shut up. I'm drunk.
4 months pregnant. Blah, blah, blah. We can tell. And I'm like, my husband, I'm like, I'm not pregnant. So
Hun, is there something I should know? I read this blog today.
Exactly.
So this is when, like, 5 years ago, and I'm, like, having people write about me being pregnant, and I'm like, I'm not. So I'm fighting with these people online, defending myself because of social media.
They want you to fight with them.
And they want me to fight because they're like, that's
they
the
expect
character.
that character, totally.
So
No, that's their win. No,
my
that's their
husband's
win.
like, this is what they want. And I'm like, screw it. I'm done. I'm not reading social media. So I literally, like, I wasn't posting anymore. Cut cold turkey, like, done. It went for like a couple months where I didn't like respond to anybody on social media. I was like, I felt clean. I felt like, all right, this is good. Like,
No, they want the affirmation. We've been like internet troll. It's classic 101. They want.
I'm like, my character's coming out. Ashley, stop it. You know?
If you don't respond, they don't get what they want.
Yeah.
You can say anything, and they're happy just because they got the.
It kind of makes you want to
Like my heart's racing now thinking about it.
Oh,
It's like, "Ugh," you know?
I remember Dave wrote. He wrote a blog about taking his daughter to a comic book store, and it went uber viral, like crazy viral, like millions of hits.
We had like 200,000 page views in a day. It was ridiculous.
Oh my God.
And basically, then all of like 90% was good. Then you got to that bottom layer, and he was a slut shamer, and he owned his daughter. How dare you speak on her behalf?
And obviously, I was gay, or I was a woman pretending to be a man writing it, or
Almost makes you want to hire somebody to like do your social media for you.
Yeah, exactly. South Park again. Yeah. Butters.
No, so I took time off, doing all my social media, and then I was like, forget this. I'm going back to it. And I just took a different angle. I was like, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm like,
well, but then you got to the can't win phase, because I think it was a couple months ago you posted a photo and people were like, oh my God, you're so skinny. And so like, do you just hit that I can't win, screw it, I'm just whatever?
well, have you been keeping up with my blog?
I have.
Yeah, wait till you read the one tomorrow. My blogs come out every Tuesday.
These assholes from ITintheD.
I already wrote it right before here. I was like, shit, it's tomorrow. You get in like that mode where you're like, oh my God, how did tomorrow creep up so fast?
Yeah.
Because the kids weren't in school today, so I was like, thinking it was Sunday all day.
Yeah.
Totally
like,
did.
oh my God, it's Monday.
Why isn't football on TV?
Right.
Shit, it's Monday.
It's Monday.
Right, exactly. Podcasts go out on Fridays, blogs go out on Tuesdays. Like, I have my set thing. But yeah, social media can totally take over. People have to learn to ignore it. Like, the stars do in LA or New York or wherever they are, and
we just learned like the Twitter
like you
people.
guys, you just ignore all that social media.
If it's a normal name, we'll acknowledge it. If it's a pseudonym on Twitter with a fake picture,
it was like Scruffy McCatsalot or somebody, and you're dead to me. Block and move on.
Right. It's kind of like going on Reddit. Like it's a big troll fest because you know that nothing on there is real. It's everything.
It's the Mos Eisley Cantina. It's the most wretched hive of scum and villainy.
It is. So how did you get podcasting? How did you break into that? And like, what are some of the highlights, or what goes on in a?
So I've had a great time. I never
20-minute show. You said, right?
It's a 20-minute show.
God.
I know.
You could
but
do
think about yourself just talking, and not like two other people.
Right. No. Exactly. If they didn't have these,
and then you don't have breaks and.
Right.
But I want to make it longer, and I want it to go to the next level, and so I'm trying everything that I can.
And we have a show here.
Looking for a studio by any chance?
Giving it out for free?
For you, yes.
I mean, I negotiate here, remember? I'm the negotiator.
Right.
But hey, you called me a bitch, so maybe.
How much did it cost? $100?
No, I said, that wasn't me. That was out there.
But it was PCB, right?
How much is it? No, the best I can do is $3. Sir.
That's the other show. Let me call a friend.
Let me call a friend.
We don't call a friend. We don't call the expert. We are the expert.
So how you said you were interviewing celebrities, artists? Like who are some of the some of the good guests you've had?
So I just interviewed somebody from Orange Is the New Black.
Okay. Great show.
Great show. I'm interviewing an author tomorrow. See, I can't tell you guys who my future guests are because I want you guys to listen.
Past guests is fine. But listen to the future ones.
I gotta look at my phone. It's like I've done some between the ones that I was just on and Orange Is the New Black. I just interviewed somebody from. Do you guys watch Empire?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So Rafael de Fuentes, I just interviewed.
Okay.
He was great. Okay. Who else did I just interview recently? Check it out, ponchikradio.com.
Ponchikradio.com. So did you just dive in like us and just have it bar conversation, or did you want structure? How did you?
So I didn't want it to be about me,
right?
And what goes on in my life because people
even though it's called
Ponchick Radio.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I branded myself about 2 years ago,
right?
And so I was like, well, what could I call me? And I'm Pawn. Pawn is my life, and Pawn Chick.
The PCB. Yeah. I'm kidding.
She's not liking
that.
We'll
never say that
again. B word, okay?
I'm just kidding.
You can do the PC. The Pawn Chick. So I was like Pawn Chick Radio. And then I started Pawn Chick Shopping, which is my online site of shopping. And I travel all over the world to buy jewelry, and I sell it online. And I can have it delivered to you within 24 to 48 hours, anywhere in the world.
Very cool.
That's crazy.
And I shop latest and greatest fashions. And I basically have 1 to 2 items in stock, and once those 2 items sell out, I'm on to the next trend.
As any good fashion person should do, create the, it's good.
So there's a hype,
yeah,
and then it sells, and then I'm on to the next. So I just left New York. I just got back in town the other day from New York for all the spring fashion.
Very cool. Yeah, we were at shopping with, now's the best time to buy winter jackets for some reason. In the coldest day of the year, now is when you buy winter jackets because they're all on sale half off. It's great.
Because they haven't sold any.
Right. And they could try
this entire winter.
Right. Until now. Yeah, exactly.
Right. And so, get them today because tomorrow it could be 60 in Michigan.
Sure.
This is true. All right. Well, hey, I want to dive more into the Ponchick Radio and Ponchick Shopping. We are bouncing up against a break. God. Let's get that done, and we'll come back because that's. I figured we would get to know how everybody knew you, and then we would get into how everybody should know you.
Great.
This is the ITintheD show, and we will be right back.
ITintheD. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to ITintheD show.
ITintheD.com.
This is not a love song.
This is a previously recorded episode of the ITintheD show.
Welcome back. This is segment 3, episode 127 of the IT in the D show. We are hanging out in Podcast Detroit studios in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. As always, this is Bob the Sales Guy, Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us in everything we do online.
Ashley, the nice pawn chick lady.
And Ashley, the
super nice pawn chick girl.
The SNPC.
G. Pawn chick girl.
Pawn chick girl. Find us online and everything we do at ITintheD.com. Check out, we have a meet, read, listen, the read tab. There's tons of good blogs on interviewing and tips and tricks for navigating your way through job search, through just acting like a normal human being at work.
Or at our events.
Right, don't be that guy. That's a big, but we have been hanging out all episode with Ashley Gold from Hardcore Pawn as you knew her, and now as you know her, Ponchick Radio.
Know her.
As you should know her, Ponchick Radio, ponchickshopping.com.
I like that. Knew her, know her.
Yeah.
He just made that up on the fly, just ran with it.
I like it.
You can use that. We don't charge
if we had $1 for every business plan we've rewritten. But no, so and I guess we kind of lately touched on it. So yeah, I mean, so what what made you decide to get into the whole podcasting thing? I mean, is this something you just do out of your house? Is it, you just say, hey, you know what? This is a communication medium that's out there that I'm not tapped into yet. Like, why podcast? Like, I'm assuming that, because of the show and everything else, you had media contacts. Why not a spinoff or hey, it's Ashley or, whatever.
All right. So I have a studio and I wanted people to know me from a different angle. So I have a lot of connections, a lot of people that I've met through, TV shows that I've been on.
Instead of getting your story told, tell your story, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to tell it my own way.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So now, was that before the Pawn Chick shopping?
Yes. So the podcast started before the shopping, and then the blog came next.
Okay.
And then the shopping was after that. And who knows what's coming next? You got to stay tuned.
Ooh. So now, you mentioned being in New York. So like how much time are you on the road? Are you? I mean, is this like? Are you on the phone a lot? Are you combing the internet for this stuff? Are people coming to you and saying, "Hey, here's my stuff. Sell it for me"? I mean, how does that work?
No. So I'm constantly loading inventory. If you go to my site, I have new inventory loaded all week. And, I have different promotions running all week. And
I noticed you just launched a promotion.
Yes, I do different promotions all the time. You can always get a deal, and you can even negotiate with me online. So if you send me an email, if you send me something on Twitter, if you send me something on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you want to talk to me on social media, I can negotiate with you. And that's what I tell people. I'm a negotiator. Been that way my entire life.
Interesting.
You want to negotiate with me? Let's make a deal.
So, I have a thing where I go to flea markets, pawn shops, and all that. I'm like, whatever it's marked, except for the Jägermeister surfboard, whatever it's marked.
You'll pay full price?
I will. Yeah, whatever. Like,
you're crazy.
You want $35 for it? No, it's kind of like or I'll say what's one time. Like, I'm not going to do the whole 100, 50, 75. 80.
All right, so what do you want to buy on my website? It's full price for you? Forget the promo code.
Exactly.
I'm not giving you 30% off today.
If I like promo code Bob and it's 0 off.
Yeah, exactly.
Promo code. Let's make that a thing. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, promo code Bob actually raises the price 10%.
No, I think it's a sales guy thing because I hate when customers negotiate with me, so I don't negotiate when I buy. It's like the best person to sell to is a salesperson. Anyway.
So I guess so you said one or so is there are there only one or two items at all on the website?
No, I have almost 400 items on the website.
Wow.
I started this thing absolutely from nothing 5 months ago.
Really?
I was literally sitting at home and I'm like, all right, do I want to do something else since I left the store? Do I want to, just be a mom, be a mom after my kids, get home from school? I went from working
No.
60 I went from working 60 hours a week,
right?
5-6 days a week, and I was like, "There's something else. There's more out there for me." So I started this, and I have currently over 400 items online. Like I said, I load new items 3+ times a week. I travel all the time to shows, to designer showrooms, and I buy the items and load them and ship them out the next day.
Yeah, looking at the website now, there's 10 or 15 categories. Some of the things, 30 and 40 items in each category, and the prices are very reasonable. They range from, some
and apparently negotiable.
So my items range anywhere from $20 to $3,000. I don't exceed $3,000. I try to be reasonable. Most of my items are under $100, and yeah.
If you go to the website right now, the promo code for 30% off is listed on the front page.
Yeah, it's winter, but actually, right when I get home, I'm going to change it. For all your listeners, I'm going to change the promo code for 30% off to ITintheD.
Well, IT.
I'm sorry, ITintheD. Well, IT in
it. Yeah.
ITintheD.
ITintheD.
She just John Schneidered us.
Oh, shush! ITintheD. Did I say that right?
Yeah, we have a great drop from John Schneider, Dukes of Hazzard. We were yakking with him, and we talked to him for a good 5-10 minutes, and he starts doing a drop for us. He's like, "Oh yeah, and it's, you're listening to the It in the D. Oh wait, no, it's the IT in the D show.
See,
Bob and Dave, they're it. They're the guys."
See, I just messed up.
You only heard me say it like 13 times today.
She stopped listening to you after PCD.
Yeah, I know, right? Everyone else zones out when I talk. Might as well too.
Well, if somebody read your stuff, they'll look at it like,
they do.
Forget you, Ashley. You're just a bitch and nobody freaking likes you anyways.
Which mic is she? Pull that mic out.
Just drop that mic. No, so I mean that's so. I guess So are you looking at is that how are you dealing with? You said you're going out and buying stuff. So, I mean, are you dealing with a warehouse somewhere?
Yes.
Are you
so I have
inventory?
a warehouse. I have a large inventory, and I ship everything out of my warehouse to my buyers.
Crazy.
And I do it all myself.
Good for you. So you're not no help from anyone from they used to be affiliated with, like in terms of your dad, your brother.
Seth isn't stopping by to help you out. No?
I do everything myself.
Good. No, good for you. No,
I do everything myself.
That's part of breaking away, right?
Everything.
Right.
For Pawn Chick Shopping, Pawn Chick Radio, every single thing myself.
Good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
See, Bob, that's how that's supposed to go. When people break away and do their own thing, they're supposed to do it themselves.
Oh.
That
when somebody starts ITintheD, that new company.
Right. So it.
It's a moron.
Total sidebar conversation. So what is on the horizon? What do you have coming up this year? What's Ashley going to be involved with this year?
So I can't really leak anything out yet. I'm going to be honest, I can't.
Yeah.
But I'll come back and talk to you in a couple months.
Perfect.
If that works.
Absolutely.
Or maybe in a month.
Absolutely.
You can be here every week if you want.
Or I can come every week and then we can interview somebody else and we can go from there.
Totally.
But I'm having a lot of fun with what I'm doing, and it's
that makes things so much easier.
I'm having fun, and I'm happy, and I have a new England life, and honestly, I'm happy. And if you can't wake up happy every single day and love what you're doing, you got to find something else that you love doing.
No, we found we're natural bullshitters by just who we are.
Trade,
but by trade, right? But we found podcasting to be borderline euphoric. For the first year. Me and Dave did the show. We talk the entire ride home, giggling like kids, and wouldn't get to bed till 3-4 in the morning. And it was hell the next day, but we didn't care. It was so much fun. We loved every minute of it. Every podcaster I talk to gets that same almost emotion feeling where
the ones that get it, yeah.
Time flies, right? The ones that get it, time flies. It's euphoric. It's the best thing I've ever done with is just archiving this time I'm spending on this planet, and it's fun. Seriously,
it's fun.
Yeah.
When I miss the show because I'm traveling for work, I usually listen live and I'm screaming at the radio with things I want to say. I'm like, damn it, why?
Why did they ask this? Why did they say that?
It's so good. It is.
See, and I do it myself, and I don't have to yell at anybody.
Have you found that social media has reacted positively to these things you're doing?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So a lot of people aren't seeing me the same way as they saw my character on the show.
That's great.
And I'm reintroducing the new Ashley in many ways.
Well, no, and everyone, everyone likes when John Travolta makes a comment. Everyone loves that story. Hey, lost a bunch of weight. I'm doing this new thing. The arms have to be wide open. It's one of those
yeah.
America loves that stuff.
It actually started off a year ago on my birthday in January, and I was on a trip, and I said, "All right, I'm so sick of myself. I can't even stand to look at myself in the mirror. I hate that person. I didn't like myself. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that way." And I
think every human being does.
Only on days that end in Y.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And that was me a year ago. And I just said, I cannot stand this person. I was out of town, and I actually have a picture in my wallet. Oh, it's in my other case. I was going to show you guys. And I was looking through a magazine, and I saw a really cute hairstyle. My hair used to be 6 inches longer. And I said, I'm going to get home from this trip, and I'm chopping my hair. And my husband's like, no, you're not. You really aren't going to have the guts. And I'm like, watch me. And I'm like, I hate that girl in the mirror. I hate her. I cannot stand to look at her. And I came home, and my husband came home, and he's like, shit, you really did it.
Actually did.
He's like, you seriously did it. And I'm like, and next, I'm going on a severe diet. And I've always been a yo-yo dieter. And I'll do 3 months and give up and be like, oh my God, I want the cake.
Häagen-Dazs.
Yeah, I'm like Jamocha almond fudge,
It's so good.
Oh my God, it's so good. I want the whole quart, And I seriously could not stand that other Ashley.
When I get sad, I cut myself another piece of cheesecake.
The most emo ever.
My moment, it's funny you say that because my moment was I was the PTA president. I was the vice president of the HOA. And I was board of directors for the German Club. If you ever met a German, they're the most argumentative group of people in the history of humanity.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, it's so toxic. And I go, I need to just remove myself. So I stopped doing everything and started the podcast and was like life. Seriously, like this huge cloud just lifts. And you don't have to deal with people yelling at you and arguing. And you can just have fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, instead of yelling at people, you know, trying to, you know. So
Right.
it's a great moment to have if you haven't had a moment of clarity. I mean, seriously, it's like you need to have. No, I'm just kidding.
It's honestly, it's this moment where it's like an aha moment, and then you look back in the mirror and you're like, I like her.
Yeah.
Or I like him, or whoever that person is, and you like that person again.
Well, so and you know, you mentioned your husband. So like, how has all of this gone with him? I mean, it's because
he's like married to somebody else.
Well, so that's the thing. I mean, like, so like, because like our wives put up with a tremendous amount of crap with all the nonsense that we do. So I mean, like, how has he been through all this? Like all the new venues, the new adventures, and all that stuff.
So I give him credit, and I thank him every day, and he's been my rock through everything. And you know, if it's not for your family, who do you have?
It's kind of why you're supposed to be doing stuff.
It's kind of why you're in a relationship too, right? You're with somebody who can grow with you, and sometimes you grow in the same direction. Sometimes you grow apart, but they're there for you growing. That's like.
But the thing is, if you talk, like, with, you know, if you communicate, say, hey, this is the direction I want to go. You in? Like, you know, I enrolled in university. I'm 42 years old. I just for a certificate at University of Wisconsin, but like I want to do it. And it's like, you either got my, you know, I'm going to be gone probably like another 4, 5, 6 hours a week buried in my books, but you got to support me on this. I'm like, all right, cool. I think if you set it up first, it's easy to go after that.
This message brought to you by talking to your partner.
Exactly.
No, but you find your soulmate, and you, through time, I don't know how long you've been married, but, you know, I'm going on 13 years. And
I'm right behind you, yeah.
Yeah, he's my rock, and I'm very fortunate.
So in terms of, like, how did you pick up, so now, going from retail experience, and now you're going to more like, you know, e-commerce almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're almost a national. Did you have to pick that up, or how was that? Did you have to learn that on the fly? Did you dive in head first?
Like loading it and doing all that. Are you talking about?
You said you're doing it all yourself.
Doing it on my own.
Logistics.
Yeah, everything.
Search engine, like SEO, like e-commerce is completely different from retail because retail they all come to you, right?
Yeah.
So now you have to like push.
Well, and don't
everything.
And don't think I didn't see social media consultant out there too.
Want to hire me?
Kinda. We suck at it.
I was looking at your stuff, and I'm like, they might need some help.
Well, because here's our thing. Like and this is the best that we've come to describe it. So Facebook is like our living room online. Like if it wouldn't be weird for you to be in our living room, we wouldn't think it would be weird for you to be in our living room. Yes, we should totally be Facebook friends. Let's hang out, and life's good. LinkedIn, my virtual office online. Yeah, call me. We'll do lunch. Yes, we should be connections on LinkedIn. Twitter, I think we've boiled that down to it's the Game of Thrones of the internet. There's 140 characters. We have no idea what the hell's going on.
Yeah, you need to bump that up.
Yeah, Google Plus is the gym membership of the internet. Everyone rushed to join, and then nobody goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got nothing.
Your Twitter?
No, I think we have 10,000 followers,
and we don't know how.
For as many people that listen to the show every week.
Well, then I'm following somebody else. I'm following the It.
Right.
Those other people, yeah.
Right. Me and him, I think, only have like 1,000.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Which I'm totally good with.
No, but to answer your question, I had to dive really quick into it and learn things really quick.
Well, but the best part about that though is that you learn what we keep telling people. The stuff is not rocket science.
No.
It's really not.
And you guys are all guys dealing with it, and I'm a girl who never dealt with this stuff. And I'm not saying girls don't deal with this stuff, but me, like, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm going to be honest. I didn't do it. So I had to learn really quick and jump on the ball really quick, and I did.
That's awesome.
And I'm not a tech girl, so anybody can do it.
Squarespace.
Yes.
I did my own homepage, and
Did you use Squarespace? So we could have gotten you 10% off.
How do you know what I didn't negotiate? He pays full price.
No, he doesn't because he used our discount.
I'll use coupons like a mofo.
All right, well, hey, I tell you what, we're starting to bounce up against our last break of the night. You're more than welcome to hang out if you would like to for our fourth segment. Let's be quick about this, though. Where do people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at AshleyHCP. You can find me on Facebook, Ashley from Hardcore Pawn. LinkedIn, Ashley Gold. Yes, Ashley Gold. PawnchickShopping.com, Pawnchick Radio. And on Ponchic Radio, there's my link to my blog. Blogs come out every Tuesday. Podcasts come out every Friday. Follow me. I run all my social media. Nobody touches it. Nobody's allowed to touch it. So you're really
she
talking
actually has
to
a
me.
schedule for her blog posts.
Yeah,
That's remarkable.
I know we should start doing that.
Yeah, we should.
I got to teach you guys something.
As soon as we write, we just publish. Doesn't matter what time
Well,
of
no,
day.
those are called tweets. You can do write.
Not. You've obviously never read anything that I've written. That's not a tweet. That's no.
He writes books for blogs.
I do.
He's bad.
Oh. Well, you can't write a long thing because then people are going to get bored and not want to read more.
See? Told you.
You got to be short, simple, sweet,
they
to the
read.
point.
But they read.
Yeah. That's why I don't read your shit.
You admitted earlier it's not even reading your email.
Because you have the attention span of a fruit, like a horny fruit fly on crack.
No idea.
That's why.
No idea. Ashley, seriously, it's been fun. You have carte blanche. Anytime you want to come back, we will obviously keep in touch with you.
Anytime, welcome me and I'll be here.
Well, and like I said, we're not kicking you out. We still have all the fun topics that we didn't get to earlier, so you're more than welcome to hang out and chime in on those.
Anytime you want me back, I'm back.
Awesome. Look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out with us. This is IT in the D Show, and we will be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hey guys, it's Ty Mogg, Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon. You're listening to the ITintheD Show.
ITintheD.com.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.
This is Ashley Gold from Ponchic Shopping, and you're listening to IT in the D.
Awesome. Welcome back, segment 4. This is episode 127.
Sorry, I feel like we should finish that story though. So John Schneider, is a Duke's.
You guys got me so nervous. You point to me, you're like, go. I'm like, shit, what do I say?
That's how it rolls when you have more than just you in the room. But no, so he was hilarious, and we're talking to him at Comic-Con, and he was a great guy, and he's like, hey, well, what do you want me to say? We're like, oh, hey, Bo Dukes of Hazzard, you're listening to the IT and the D Show, and he's like, man, why does everybody just want to talk to me about Dukes of Hazzard? He turns and he points at his poster. He's like, do you see all of the crap that I've done over the course of my career? We were like, John, nobody's here to hear the new stuff. Just play the hits. And so he's like, so he grabs the recorder and he's like, hey, this is John Schneider from, and he turns around and reads his entire poster. Nip Tuck, Law and Order, and reads it.
Well, he deserves it.
And he's like, oh yeah,
I would.
And the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh my God, if I was in all that, wouldn't you want to read everything?
Oh, it's outstanding.
So this is episode 127 of the It and the D Show. We're hanging out in Podcast Detroit.
We just renamed ourselves.
In beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy.
We've been on episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Right.
Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG, Ashley the PCG, and find us online, ITintheD.com.
SN, PCG.
Don't
super
forget,
nice.
January 21st, Firebird Tavern, 5 to 8. We hope to see you there.
And we may or may not try to run away from that because P-Funk is over at Soundboard. Well,
that's who was there?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't click the link?
No.
Yeah, dude, it's George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic.
Oh, my
at
God.
Soundboard at 8 o'clock. So our event may end at 7:30.
So it's like, Nuri, we're leaving you here to hold down the fort.
No one's holding on the fort. So we have a bad habit of every time we go out to the bar. I've been doing this with my friends, with Michael Mode from the Innovate Show. We've been doing this probably since we've been old enough to drink, is coming up with business ideas at the bar.
Always.
And it's probably maybe sometimes it's half the conversation, most of the time it's zero, but it's a regular occurring theme. And I think, opposed to us having the idea for Crapper, for a Yelp system for bathrooms, that
we have Ashley, would you use a Yelp for public bathrooms?
To find out what the clean bathrooms are and the bad bathrooms.
So you're driving back from up north, right?
Yeah,
you're driving along. You're like, where's there a clean McDonald's?
I
right?
would.
We registered Crapper. We need an app.
Well,
design.
you guys don't typically sit your butt.
Guys
in the
don't
toilet.
care. No, guys don't care.
So why would that
We're animals.
matter?
Well, it's mostly for
we're animals.
Right.
We don't care.
There have still been bathrooms that I've used in public that make me kind of queasy.
Yeah.
No, not me.
So
So I think I've found the worst business idea.
Oh, there were a lot. There were people. There was a lot of shots
humanity.
flowing the night that this came out. That this idea came together.
So apparently, there's Uber's the thing. Uber's the rage. Everybody's business model now is like an Uber model.
It's all about the sharing
economy. Well, this one came out, and you get the two middle fingers from me.
The Winston Club is who came up with this
It
idea.
sounds really fancy. What is the Winston Club?
Well, honestly, it sounds like a 1960s cigarette smoking club. Fred, do you happen to have a Winston?
Well, no, it's kind of like It reminds me, like in the old movies, like Blues Brothers and like They Live.
Yeah.
It was like those hostels, but men only. And you're like, what the hell went on in those places? This is almost along those lines. Like you can get a hotel room. Let's say you're going to stay at the Marriott tonight because you're out of town, and you can open up your app and you can share your room with a total stranger.
Now, doesn't that bring us right? Doesn't that?
I would even share my Uber with
Thank
a total
you.
stranger.
I was like, sharing your hotel room. Doesn't that bring us right back to the back page of Metro Times?
Right. How soon before this becomes Grindr?
I wonder if I could like request only attractive women who don't snore and like to cuddle. Then I'm totally into this app.
But where does? So here's the thing. Like you were talking about this with what was it? Walmart or one of the major corporations?
Yeah, Walmart executives actually are forced to share rooms together. We're talking about like C-level VPs. This is the way it used to be anyway. They had to share hotel rooms.
At we call it GSX. It's our annual sales conference in Vegas. 20,000 people. You either have to share a room or you have to pay.
Yeah, it was the same thing at Presidio. We had to do the same.
Or unless
thing.
you say you have a Darth Vader CPAP and you like, or a few people have gotten away with calling. No, a few people have emailed HR and said I'm confused with my sexuality. And they let him have their own room. He's been doing this for 15 years, and they never question it. But here's the thing:
he's still confused after 15 years.
Yeah, exactly. Like, still, they can't say anything. But here's the thing: like, what? The only thing, like, what is it? I couldn't imagine being that cheap too. Like, I got a $120 Hampton Inn. You know, I really could use the $60, and I want to share this thing with a complete stranger,
so that I can sleep with one eye open all night and worry about if I'm going to wind up with one less kidney.
Where do you put your wallet? You know, what happens if you, like, your leg touches? Like, just like, what the hell?
It's two queens.
Well,
okay, it's not okay.
I'm just
isolating that at 10:38.
Damn it! Shut up, Harry.
When don't you ever, like, unless it becomes like a hookup thing? Like, again, like.
Hot women don't snore, like to cuddle. Yes,
and you know, good luck. You're waiting 30 years later, and you might get one. Like,
just like my Tinder profile.
Well, it is. I mean, that's one of those things where the cost benefit analysis does not seem to play out. Like the money that you'll save sharing your hotel room weighed against the loss of peace of mind, a sense of security, and I know they say that everyone that joins the app is thoroughly vetted.
Yeah,
sure they are.
Well, they said that they actually do like a video screening with people, and they want photo ID, email, credit card, social media, and phone number. But still, creepy people,
all of which
have
can be
those
faked.
too.
All of which can be faked. All of which can be faked.
Dave, this goes back to a recurring theme I always have. Is I want to sit in that boardroom. A, when this was being discussed. B, when someone said green light this bitch. Because I can't put the two together, like the dotted lines. Like how did that become like, yes, this should go beyond the phase of bar conversation to let's throw money at this and make this happen. Crapper makes sense. You're not sharing a toilet. Like the hotel doesn't make sense. I'm just saying.
Oh, your butt did touch another butt.
Oh, don't. I don't want to think of no.
Do you line the seat? Do you guys line a seat?
No. Some people nest. I don't nest. Wipe, no nest.
No, line a seat.
Yeah, no.
Guys don't line a seat.
No, hardly ever.
Never.
Build a nest, like the 4,700 piece of paper. Like build a little nest.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
See, most men's rooms don't have.
I never asked a guy that.
Most men's rooms don't have the liners, and if the box is there, it's almost always empty.
The toilet paper.
Oh no, that's Bob's talking about nesting.
Nesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's called nesting.
You're building a nest around it. Yes,
I've
absolutely.
never heard that word. Nest.
It's like a giant club.
That should be my next promo code.
Like you wrap your hand like 40 times, like almost make a giant club, and you give it like a good 3-4 times around, and then you plop down.
Which is also why there's never any.
You wipe the toilet seat?
Yeah, absolutely.
You wipe like a McDonald's toilet seat?
Yeah.
Me too.
Wrapped like 40 times. Yeah.
You do too?
This is common. This is like. Is this like? Are we letting you into the secrets of guy life that you never knew behind the curtain?
Twitter, do men wipe public toilet seats?
Yeah.
There are. You're going to get to. So there are 90% of the men that will say yes, and then the other 10% are lying.
I'm sorry that I'm totally off
Are we
topic
going to get? Are we going to get?
Disgusting.
Are we going to get into a baller or folder conversation here?
And then do you wash your hands? Oh my god, that is so disgusting.
Why is it no? Because it's the hands wrapped like 40 times. Like
no, you don't understand. You're talking about like a 2-inch thick layer.
Do you know? What is that?
See, why are we not getting a photo of this face?
She's broken. Oh.
I want to get in the baller or folder conversation now. It's like my oldest conversation I've had with my friends. My oldest friends. We knew we ran out of stuff to talk about.
Okay, yes, mate.
We talk about if you're a baller or folder. If you make it one big giant softball, or if you like make it like perfectly square and then you fold it over and do it again.
What do I think you do?
No. What you? You're not gonna answer this.
This should not be a question we're asking you.
I know. Don't answer.
Don't ask me, but I know what you do.
It's a standard guest question. Yes, it's baller guest.
Yeah, who was it? The Inside the Actor Studio had those 20 famous questions that he always said. Us, baller or folder? That's
baller or folder.
That'll be from this point on.
available.
Right. No,
You sure fold.
So here's
it is available.
This is one of those riddle me this moments that I need. So the Boston bomber appealed for a new trial. That got shot down. So he's in Supermax. He's on death row. He's ordered to pay $111 million in restitution. Logically, how is that supposed to work?
A lot of license plates there, Dave.
I mean, seriously, you're sentenced to death.
A lot of money.
You're on death row. You're in Supermax. How is he supposed to get his hands on $111 million to pay restitution? Like that's one of those times where the legal system makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Which he's got 10, 15 years? What's the average time people spend on death row? I think 15 years.
15, 20 years, yeah.
Divide by 100.
Like what, $6 a day or whatever it is they get?
Yeah, no.
I got nothing.
Because, I mean, there's already laws on the books that say you can't profit from a crime, so it's not like he could make money selling the rights to his story or anything like that.
But then who's left to pay that? So these families are expecting it, or his estate pays it, or his family pays it?
I don't know how that works.
I don't get that.
It was just one of those things. Like I read it and I was like, I don't. This makes my head hurt. I don't like it's. If I've said it once, I've said it. I understand that legal is not logical. Like those two terms never really interrelate very well. But that one just completely blew my mind.
So the one thing I forgot to talk about in the first segment, and I know you said you talked about it a few ago, but I caught the documentary about the E.T. Atari game, and basically this fanfare that surrounded it, and how they all got
and all the urban legends that surrounded
and the
it.
legend, yeah, because then they got dumped into a.
Because it was a well-known fact that it was the worst-selling Atari game of all time. In fact, all the rumors had it that basically that was the game that killed Atari
of all time.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: like, it brought out like the guy that designed it. And even him himself said like he had to put this thing out in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
like the studios and Atari.
Well, and this guy was like is like if you're a true like hardcore gaming dork, like you know this guy. Like he was the first one that put an Easter egg. Remember the old adventure game? Where it was nothing but like you had you could press the joystick and like lit a candle and you were a dot on the screen. And would you like to kill the dragon? Yes, I would like to kill it. He was the first one that put an Easter egg in a game, and that became such a cool thing that all the other Atari developers started doing it, and it was encouraged. And so, like, he was the guy at Atari, and Spielberg basically handpicked him to write this game, and then said, "Okay, I know you," and like, because we've all been here. It's going to take me like 6 months to write it. Okay, great. Yeah, you've got like 3 weeks.
So they're at this.
So game flops.
They're at this dump.
Game comes out.
They're at the town dump.
Yeah,
where there's like a whole truckload of these games
in middle of nowhere, New Mexico, if I recall correctly.
So there's thousands of people. I was mind blown watching this thing.
Well, it's again always been an urban legend that there are thousands of these games buried. That Atari took them all back and wanted to pretend it never happened, and so buried them in a landfill in the middle of New Mexico.
They found those, right?
Yeah. Well, they had a full blown like archaeological dig, roped off, and I'm talking to fanfare. Thousands of people behind ropes watching these.
And guys showing up in DeLoreans,
and all of a sudden, guys showing up like there was a pit. All of a sudden, somebody finds the top of an Atari 2600 controller, like the little rubber handle thing, and he holds it up like he just found
the Ark of the Holy Grail.
And the place goes huge applause, and I'm watching this in utter disbelief. Granted, I'm a kid that grew up with Atari 2600s, and I had all the freaking games, and I wouldn't even consider me one of the biggest gaming geeks to an extent.
Well, and the funny part to me about the documentary was, one, the fascinating part of the documentary was all of the backstory and interviews about, the rise and fall of Atari and just like how that basically changed the arcade industry and the home gaming industry and how it paved the way and all that stuff. But the interviews with the guy who's been in charge of the town dump for like the last 40 years were hilarious to me because he pulls out this giant map and he's like, oh yeah, like over here we've got like the mid 80s, we'll find like a lot of Madonna albums and yada yada yada. Over here we've got the late 70s. There's a lot of disco stuff in there. I'm sure of it. He's like, so I've narrowed it down to about this spot here on the map that this is where it's kind of got to be.
So they found a game, an ET game. Place goes bonkers. Like the Detroit Lions just won the Super Bowl, right? And they're jumping up and down, they're celebrating, and they end up digging. So they basically went from that to them digging up the whole thing and just found out it was just some warehouse that went defunct and just dumped the warehouse out. It wasn't just – so the urban legend was it was just the ET games. They dumped them because they sucked. And the story ended up happening. There was like 20,000 games that were just a mix-up of all the different games.
I've got this really weird mental image of a bunch of guys with like monocles and British accents running around with small brooms, dusting off like they're dusting for dinosaur bones at an archaeology site.
Oh, no, but like that's the funny part. So like they were taking
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
this enormous drill. And they would and then stuff would spin
pulling
up,
out samples,
spin up the drill, and they'd be like, "Oh, hey, we found a piece of black plastic. We must be near the games." And then the guys with the brushes and the things would go in, and it was ridiculous.
I spent 8 years in college and got my doctorate for this shit.
Yeah, exactly. And for $29, you could have gone to Career Academy.
That's what happens with it. Yeah, when you have an anthropology degree, what do I do now? Go dig up ET games, asshole. Like, it was like honestly, it's on. Is it on Showtime? I'm trying to think.
Oh yeah.
You have to catch this, Nuri. It's freaking just the fanfare that surrounded and followed it. Absolutely,
for a game that everybody hated.
For a game that everyone, it was a shit game. I'm sorry, that was like the worst game in Atari history. But you had to have it. It was one of those ones like Smurfs on ColecoVision. Like you had to have it, even though you knew it was awful. See, you're nodding. It was a terrible game, but you had to have it.
33.
It's too young for it.
My first game system was an NES, like the original NES with
the No Friendo.
Brothers. Yeah. Well, that too.
That's what you got. The No Friendo. But no, so I feel we'd be a little remiss if we didn't talk about our adventure over the weekend because like we don't see each other enough. We had to take off with the families this weekend and head down to Kalahari. And Bob, would you like to sum up Kalahari for us?
I did some research on the word Kalahari, and apparently it's a Swahili term meaning you paid what for that? I've been to expensive places before, but Jesus H. Christ, Kalahari, like
$27.
No, I'll take one of them frozen fruity margarita drinks, and I'll have a beer. That'll be $37. I'm like,
and how about the games for the kids?
No, we didn't do arcade, but Daddy, I want a blank. Oh, that'll be $14. Like,
no, I just wanted one.
Right. I just got like a small burger. Like everywhere, every corner you turned, like insane. Like the room was more than I paid. Everything there was more than you paid for Vegas.
Whoa, hold on. Winston Club, Kalahari, go.
Right. Oh, see? I would have sacked up about 6 people just to normalize the room cost. I did not blacklight the room. I've read too many stories.
No, I meant the toilets.
No, I read on Yelp the bed bug.
No. I mean, it was a fun weekend. The kids had a blast. Life was good.
The place is nuts. It's literally the largest indoor water park in the world.
It's nuts.
It's obscene.
And it's the winter, so Cedar Point is closed. So
everybody goes there
all the fun people are at Kalahari.
I always see signs for it going to Cedar Point, but I've never been.
Oh, the people watching.
Infect yourself when you go home.
Oh, the people watching was outstanding.
It was like a Golden Corral convention there. It was like, what in the hell is going on here?
Where's the macaroni and cheese?
No, it was
crazy.
Then they have Then I was reading more about it.
Well, when we had this, Bob and I had this great. Bob's like, I don't understand it. He's like, Jesus Christ, the prices they charge for the hotel rooms and the drinks are ridiculous.
You think you're like in the Bahamas or something.
Like, where are all these people coming from? And I'm like, Bob, you can buy a day pass for $25. And he was like, oh, now I get it.
Next time, I'm buying a day pass.
And staying at the damn Super 8.
How many nights were you there?
Just one. We were
Just the one.
debating 2. We're like, yeah, no. Our kids got enough. They're,
Yeah, they were all wiped by noon the next day.
Well, you guys are the ones brought your spaghetti or whatever. At least we ate out.
Hey, man, because we had two other families that came with us, and they wanted to, because we had a suite with a kitchen and everything. They're like, oh, we can just cook and life will be good. I'm like, whatever. I'm not in charge. I just book hotel rooms, and then off we go. And
the
whatever
best part
happens
about
after that.
Dave is it's two people. He's two people. It's like my father was two people. I don't know how your dad was or yours, Ash, but there's one. He's Dave now, and then he's Dave with Anita. And the line is so it's about the Berlin Wall thick. It's like the Wall of China.
I'm pretty much the same person. I just don't care about.
No. There's no even debate. Like, Dave, let's go up and sit at the bar. Nope. I promised I would sit here. I have to watch the purses.
Dude, we were put in charge of the stuff. If you put your purse down at a table
I'd be mad if my husband left.
See?
The purses come we can see them, but if the table, the bar was right there,
the purses?
you could see the table from there.
You cannot leave the purses.
Shit.
Gotta take the purse.
See?
Take the purse.
I'm sorry, I'm sticking up for him.
You can order drinks for the purse too. It's cool. Take the purse.
Why don't you go get the drinks and come back?
That's what we did.
That's what I did.
See, we had a tag team rotation going. All right, I got drinks. All right, tag. I'm out.
And the games were on, so I would sit for 4 minutes until I figured all right, it's too long, and then I would go back.
Yeah.
And so from a negotiator standpoint, you'll love this. I loved the drunk girl that came up to the bar at one point when I was up there, and she leans across the bartender. She says, "How much for a shot of vodka?" Bartender says $7. She's like, "Wow, it's a little expensive." "How much for a vodka tonic?" Bartender says $7. She says, "Oh, I'll take the vodka tonic." I'm like,
it's the same price.
I'm like, you
Wait,
a huge mega score on the free tonic.
I'll tell you, the vodka tonic lasts longer.
So yeah, I mean, it was a fun weekend. Kids had fun, and then we stopped at Tony Paco's, which I was a little confused by on the way back because they have hot dog buns all over the walls. No, it's
like their Lafayette Coney.
It's the only place I've ever been in my life that had cabbage rolls, strudel. And and just it was
it's a Hungarian place from back in the day. It was made famous by Jamie Farr because he would have them shipped.
Mentioned it on 6 episodes of MASH.
They would talk about them on MASH, so it became this international sensation. I read what was Burt Reynolds? What did he have to do with it? He was the first one that signed. They asked to sign his autograph, and he signed a hot dog bun. So now, anyone famous comes in there, they sign hot dog buns.
So then,
they're fine.
So but so I'm like, all right. So and they're all on the wall. All these famous people have signed, and I'm like, so me, I'm like, okay, science. Are they vacuum sealed into there because mold? And he's like, he's looking at he's like, dumbass. They're rubber hot dog buns. They don't actually sign bread. I'm like, well, what do I know?
Buns.
You sign bread.
And softly with a Sharpie.
And then lastly, we'd be remiss if we did not talk about the genius that I've not seen a movie that's been this brilliant in their advertising than Deadpool.
Oh, it's actually really funny. My wife's like, "Hey, Nuri, there's this movie for Valentine's Day. It's something about true love never dies." It's
Have
called
you seen
Deadpool.
any of the ads, actually?
No.
So Deadpool, right, which is the comic book hero, Ryan Reynolds, but he's funny and it's a little edgy and it's rated R because he's dirty language. Well, show Ashley a couple of pictures. Well, there's one that it's a Valentine's Day ad and it's Ryan Reynolds and the girl in the movie and it's set looks almost like the Notebook.
It's a rom-com.
Yeah. So that's they're making those as the billboards around town. So people are like, oh, let's go see Deadpool. Oh, that looks good. So they're making they have 7 different
to attract people.
7 different ads. One of them is a skull.
It's the emojis, yeah.
The poo emoji and an L. So you gotta sit and look at skull pool. Oh, Deadpool. Oh. Right.
I like
That's
it.
what all those crazy kids are doing today. Yeah.
No, I know. I look for that's one. I gotta go see it in the theater.
Oh, it looks good.
And a new trailer that came out during football this weekend. It does look really, really good.
I didn't know if I'd like it or not, and I still got mixed reviews. But I liked Ant-Man. I thought it was good. You didn't like it?
The concept itself has just turned me off from watching.
No, they explain it why it makes sense. Here's the thing. If you have a giant, here's the thing. If you have small, you'll never get tracked on a radar, and it's it was a military way to infiltrate data centers and planes, and you could
interesting.
And so they'd have 10,000 of these little guys, and you couldn't see them. So for them, that was their way to infiltrate, even though it was more difficult. They went unseen. right? So you had
He's like, I'm typing it.
No, I'm going to go download this right now.
The way they
Sounds far too
explained it, like
complicated.
I thought it was kind of weird too, but then they explained exactly, like he broke into where was the scene where what's his name from Avengers was guarding it, and them two were fighting.
I have not watched yet.
Oh no, it's
Rotten Tomatoes give it an 80%, and then the audience gave it an 88%. Okay, I'll watch it.
It was good. It was a little slow, but it was a good watch. It was, I mean, like we said, we rent Judd Apatow movies to appease our significant others. Like these movies are
funny for 45 minutes,
and then awful for an hour and a half.
Right.
I'll give them 20 minutes of funny, and then awful for the rest. But hey, we are. I think we're done. Is this Monday?
Yeah, we are wrapping up. And
Yeah.
we got, so just one last time, we got our event on Thursday down at Firebird Tavern. Everybody should come out and hang. Starts at 5 o'clock. No cover charge, no agenda, no speakers, no BS, no. Like again, we've spent 15 years kicking out everybody who sucks. So,
and people still show up, which is awesome.
Well, but not them.
But Ashley, we can find you at Ponchik Radio and PonchikShopping.com.
Yeah, and I'm offering 30% off to all your listeners and everybody on
That's
your social
awesome.
media. Promo code ITintheD. I won't get it wrong this time.
We will push it on our social as well.
That's
It's
awesome.
very cool of you to do that.
Well, thank you guys for having me. It was great.
Yeah, no, we had fun, and we look forward to having you back.
Love
and,
it.
Yeah, whenever you're ready to break some more news, drop us
I
a note.
can't
You're
come
in.
back before that without news.
Absolutely.
I'll share your news.
You can come back whenever you want to. This was
Done.
fun.
I loved it. Thank
Absolutely.
you guys.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. This is episode 127, IT and the D Show. Drink up your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. See you next week. Beat it.
Beat it.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Long live Flash! You've saved your ass. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name?
Murphy. Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. Game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Rude.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe own the truth.
Fear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing. The alphabet. It's brilliant. Yeah, I can't take that position. That analogy sucks because it's right. Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up. Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city. I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.